Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm going to give you a love injection. Is that like Kiss's love gun?
Sort of. I love the people in the chat room that hate it.
They hate
music to commit suicide too. All right, then do it. It was playing. You had your chance. Fucking commit suicide.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't talk about it, you pussy.
Yeah. It's got a lot. I got a brand new 44 you could borrow.
No shit. Yeah, but you wouldn't want to have to clean it off so soon, would you?
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind a little blood on that gun.
Yeah, with the brain matter and shit.
You know, if it was for a good cause, I'm down for it.
All that diseased lip matter that would be on there after it blew off the fucking piece of the face.
Yeah, but it's all steel. It's not like it's going to soak in or anything.
True, but still, you'd have to get in there with a rag and clean that gray matter out of the fucking chamber and
True.
shit.
Yeah, I just soak it.
Yeah. Just gross.
Yeah, but it'd be notorious. It's like I own a gun that somebody blew their brains out with.
How exciting.
See this gun? Somebody actually blew their brains out with it.
And it's on auction now for only $100,000.
Exactly.
This one proved it works.
It does. I like that gun.
Yeah, I like that new one you got.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm jealous. Now if I didn't have to fucking shell out $2,000 to fix my car, I might go out and try and match you. But I might anyway. Who knows? I don't know. I've got like $3,000 in bills that I have to pay in the next month. Extra bills. I'm like, fuck. You ever get like that where you're like ahead of the game? Oh, fuck. Now things are fucked again?
Yeah.
I'm in that mode right now. It's like I've been doing really good. Pinball PA has been fucking kicking ass every week. You know, everything's sailing along fine. Then I've got $2,000 for this fucking car to fix it, and probably $700 to $750 for my yard work for the year, because I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut grass or rake leaves or any of that fucking faggy shit. That's the landscaper's job.
Faggy shit.
Yes, I'm not doing that. That was the wife's job when she was here, and you don't think I picked that up, do you?
Of course not.
Fuck that. But $750 is a big chunk too. And I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, can I just, because you know how I roll, dude. I never have cash. I just never have cash in my pocket, and inevitably." Every time this kid would roll up, I have a kid that cuts my grass, and he did it last year. Good, he does a good job. Keeps the grass cut. I'm not super yard guy to where I really give a shit. As long as the city isn't hitting me with a fine for it not being cut, I'm good.
Okay.
That's really all the more I give a shit about. Just as long as the city doesn't fucking fine me, I don't care.
Yeah, as long as the grass isn't tasseling, I don't really care.
I wouldn't care if it didn't get to city. All I care about is the city.
Right.
I wouldn't care if my house looked like it was in the middle of a field, as long as the city doesn't fuck with me. But the fine from this city is like $500 fucking dollars.
Yeah, that pays for your whole year's worth of landscaping.
Which is why I'm at the point of hiring the landscaper.
Okay.
Because if it's up to me, I'd just let the city fine me, and I just wouldn't cut it. I'd tell them to go fuck themselves.
Well, they'll fine you, and then they'll send somebody out there and cut it.
And charge me for that too, and then fine me again when I don't cut it again. So it's I'm never gonna do that work. So $750 is like, it's a big bite, but I just don't want to have that situation like I had last year where he kept coming to the door and it was like, yeah, you owe me another $125, and I was always like, can you? It was like retard sales 101. He comes to the door. I need $125. Can you take a card? No. Well, I'll back Friday. So then I got to go to the bank. So it was always this fucking cascading window of it happening over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So this year he hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want me to do your yard again this year?" And I said, "Yeah, I do. But just tell me how much it's going to cost for the entire season. I'm not going to pay per cut. I'm not going to do all that poor shit. I'm not going to worry about if it rained more or less, or, I don't care. If you rip me off, fine. If I rip you off, fine. But give me a number. Make sure that it's decent, and I'll fucking pay it.
Yeah, I'll throw you the whole amount, and then I don't worry about it.
Yeah. So he threw me $750, and then offered me a 5% discount if I pay the whole thing up.
Well, yeah, but $750 between what date and what date?
May 1st to the end of October. So
okay,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
6 months. 6 months, $120, whatever. You know. And no, Joe, he didn't have PayPal. He's a kid. He's like a 17-year-old kid, 16-year-old kid. He's not all set up. But this year, I just don't want to fuck with it. I don't want to. I'll be honest. I don't want to know the kid. I don't really want to know what he does. I don't want to know his name or.
Just take care of the fucking yard. Here's your money.
Just show up. Wake me up every once in a while by the of the lawnmower going past my window at some point. You know, it's all the more I give a shit about.
Right.
Just fucking do it. I don't even want to know your last name. I don't even know his last name now. I know his first name is Derek. And I don't want to know his last name. Just cut my grass. But, I just figured, I'd ask him for a number. It's $750, whatever 5% of that is off. What's that, about $50? I don't know. But so 700 maybe?
Yeah.
That's probably reasonable, right?
Sure it is. For 6 months? Sure.
Yeah, and he's going to do all the edging and the leaves and all that other shit. So I think that's fair. I put it out there. I asked people if that seemed fair, and I'm getting every response under the sun. That's a ripoff too. That's reasonable, dude. So
well, I pay $1,200 a year in property owners association fees.
Right.
Which takes care of snow removal, grass, taking care of the landscaping, and then part of that money goes to the building fund because the property owners association is responsible for the outside of my building, be it like the roof or siding or anything like that.
Right.
So, yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, because I would say yard for yard, my yard and your yard are probably, if you took the whole space, are about equal. Because you have like that bigger backyard, right?
Well, yeah, but that's more common area.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, but overall, I would say that's pretty fair.
Yeah, all right. Well, so needless to say, I got to come $2,000 for my car and $750 for this kid, next week. I'm like, fuck, $3,000. Just when I thought I was getting ahead.
Well, that's the difference between you and I. You're the cashless guy, and I'm the guy who pays everything in cash.
Yeah, you always have cash.
I pay everything in cash.
Yeah,
I just don't like to leave my digital, digital fingerprint everywhere I go.
Yeah, see, I'm living on the edge. I know for a fact if they ever shut it down, I'm just fucked. But whatever, I'm fucked. But I have guns, so.
Well, I have guns too, but Yeah.
But you'll have cash to get you through until you need the gun. I'll just need the gun right away.
Yeah.
I'll have to rob the grocery store immediately.
But that just goes to show you the difference with the younger generation. Mm-hmm. That when I was involved with somebody who was younger, and we were at a parking garage, and I paid the parking garage ticket. You have to go to the little machine,
right?
And it accepts cards or cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I paid it with I think it was like $7 or something like that. Right. And I put a $10 bill in there.
Mm-hmm.
And got $3 back, and the ticket validated.
Right.
I've never seen anyone pay a parking ticket or a parking garage ticket with cash.
Yeah.
It's like
I've never seen a dial phone either, so shut up.
It's like, is that a problem?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like I don't want to go around swiping my card on everything. You never know.
Yeah, you don't. And when people start grading you on if you're acting old or not, you just want to fucking punch them in the fucking face.
It's like the job got done. The end of the end result was the same. What difference does it make?
It's like, listen, honey, you never saw a TV with a knob on it. Doesn't mean that I didn't watch TV for fucking 30 years before you were born. Shut it.
Exactly.
Dumb bitch.
I can't believe that you carry that kind of cash with you.
Well, but see, you're the kind that won't lose it.
Yeah.
I've been known to lose wallets and phones and everything. So
I've never lost a wallet in my life.
Ugh. Dude, not only have I lost them, but I've lost them in the house and found them like 3 years later. You know, I did that fairly recently. Had to cancel all my cards and shit and get new cards and everything. And then as soon as I found the new cards or got the new cards, then the old wallet showed up.
You're like Clark Griswold in National Lampoon's Christmas, where he finds Christmas presents in the attic like years ago.
Well, no, that would be you, sir. But you know where they are. You have them stored in your closet. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm like a squirrel hiding nuts in a tree.
Do you have any presents currently? Or
I
no?
do not, no. Because basically I put an end to that whole gift-giving thing.
Right.
I made it very, very clear that I do not want to receive presents.
Right. Nobody even gives you like gift certificates or cash or anything?
Well, that's a little bit different. I'm not going to throw cash in the closet, but I'm not going to open up boxes of shit.
Yeah, but I mean, do people like family or whatever?
No,
do they give you like a gift certificate?
No, I've told everybody cut it out. I don't want anything from anybody. Really, I don't.
Do you give them?
Oh yeah.
So
dude, you know me. I'm really generous about shit. I mean, I give you shit.
I know, and that's why I'm like, so you'll tell a family member, don't give me a, I don't know, Outback gift card.
Yeah.
But you'll give them some.
Yeah, sure.
But that makes them feel bad.
Well, I don't want them to. No, it's just like, you know what? I've been blessed in my life, and it's just like, I don't need stuff. I don't
but you don't
need it.
See how that makes them feel bad?
I get it. I do. I get it. I mean, you know, when you know, a few weeks back when you know, my sisters and, you know, people gathered for my brother-in-law's funeral, you know, we went to Applebee's after the funeral, and, you know, I was going to pick up the tab for everybody.
Right.
You know, but I wasn't allowed to do that.
Right.
Because Officer Jim wanted to pick it up. Sure. And I let him.
Yeah. Well, I get that. I mean, I get that. I just know. And I'm sort of the same way. I really don't like gifts. You know, and it's not because I don't like to get stuff. I mean, I do, but I don't really need anything. So it's always weird when people ask you what you want. And you just like, dude, I got everything I need and then some. Yeah, same here. It's like, you know, when I do run into some extra money, I always think to myself, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to look online for something, just get myself a splurge gift. Yeah, and that's what I did today. But it's hard to find. You know, I'll go and I'll look at like Best Buy's, you know, me, tech guy. I'll go on Best Buy's website and I'll look and I can't find anything that I fucking want. And the stuff that I do want, I sort of already have, you know. I mean, do I really need to get a more updated Chromecast, or do I really need to get a more updated TV, or it's like, fuck that. Well, that's what I did for myself for Christmas, is I bought that 60-inch LG. Right. Exactly. But you wanted to get a bigger TV. Yeah, but I had the other one for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And it worked fine. It looked good, everything, but I wanted a more high-def TV, and dude, going to Amazon and getting a 60-inch LG delivered to your door for $550. Yeah, it's right. Like, how the hell could you pass that up? Oh, I know it, dude. It is definitely great but I'll tell you, Amazon, talk about, for those of us that are uncomfortable getting gifts anyway, Amazon really has ended our need to get gifts, because, man, remember in the old days, you might kind of wait to buy something. You know, you might want something, but you'd be like, my birthday's coming up, or Christmas is coming up, or something, and you might wait a little. In the old days, before the internet, I guess, you might wait. You wouldn't just run to the store and buy it. Yeah, of course, and I'm still like that, obviously. Well, you are. I'm not. anymore, because of Amazon, if I see something that I want, it doesn't leave my screen. And the only time it leaves my screen is when it's telling me my fucking approval number.
Well, that's because you're more impulsive than me. I'm not an impulsive person.
Dude, I get 1% back from my credit card purchases every month because I use my PayPal card.
Yeah.
And I get 1% back.
That's a penny on a dollar.
Yeah, it's nothing, right? I get regularly about $150 back on the card.
A year or a month?
A month.
A month.
I pay for everything with that card.
Ugh, wow. Okay.
I pay my car payment. I pay my house payment. But I buy anything that I want whenever I want it.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, everything. Groceries. You know, when I make my order to Walmart grocery, and have them have it ready for me when I pull in, so I don't have to be there more than 3 minutes.
Right.
You know, when I do that, it's paid for with my card. Everything, my electric bill, my gas bill, all my pinball PA bills, everything paid for on that card, so I can get the 1% back.
You're like the Indians. That's how the Indians, when I used to work for the Indians, they paid for everything on their Capital One card.
Of course.
The company bills and everying. And the
business spindle.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It fucked me because the company card that they gave me was connected to the main account.
Right.
And they had a spending limit on it. And I had to drive to Dallas, Texas from here.
Right.
With a rental car. Right. And I went to the gas station to go fill the rental car up, and the card got declined.
Wendell, don't you have cash in your wallet? Well,
that's what they said. Well, can't you use your own card and we'll just reimburse you? It's like, oh, so you want me to pay for this whole trip and then hope that you'll reimburse me without questioning everything? It's like, what's this for? What's this for?
Wendell, your cash is good at the gas station. Why don't you use it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Why should we pay for your gas? and then it would shock me not if the Indians were like, it would be less to pay if you only weighed 160 pounds.
Yeah, you get better gas mileage.
Yeah. Reimburse us $3.
Yeah. Well, that I know I told this story, on the show, but I left my house on Sunday.
Right.
Okay. I got back to my house at 4 a.m. on Friday morning.
Right.
I had 3 hotel charges.
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
So mind you, I was on the road part of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I had 3 hotel charges.
Jeez. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, because I was in the car the entire time, just basically I had to drive all the way to Dallas. Then I drove down to Houston, or just outside of Houston, to Bridge City, Texas. Then I had to hop over to New Orleans, just outside of New Orleans. And then I had to shag ass back up to Chicago.
Right.
That I made that round trip in basically 4.5 days.
Sure.
And they bitched about, why did you have $180 in gasoline charges in a 24-hour period? And it's just like, well, you notice there's no hotel in that period.
Yeah.
I basically I only slept 3 nights out of 5.
You see the 1,400 miles in between there.
Yeah.
Why did you not rent a pop-up camper, Neeley?
How come so much? How come so much gas? How much? How come so much gas?
Why did you not take a bicycle?
But it's just like, you notice you only paid for 3 nights of hotel for 5 nights of me being out.
What you do when you're not working is your own business.
Fuck you people.
Why should I have to pay for you to waste time sleeping?
Yeah. So the wife of the owner Why so much? Why so much? Why $180? How much gas? Why so much gas?
And you were like, I'll tell you Tuesday when I'm allowed to speak.
Yeah. Today's muted Monday. I can't talk to you.
I can't tell you till tomorrow.
Right.
And you sent that in an email so that you didn't speak it.
Right.
What a fucking bunch of dicks you were working for over there. My God.
They're Indians.
They're dicks.
Yeah.
They may be Indians, but they're just dicks. Are they dicks for Indians, or are they just are Indians all dicks?
They're just like that. That's their attitude. Everything. They're the Jews of the Indian world.
Are all Indian? I mean, I've not had to deal financially that much with Indians.
Oh yeah, I dealt with Indians prior to working with them, or for them rather.
Right.
And they're like that. That's how Indians are.
Yeah. I've only had one fairly not good experience with Indian guy, and it wasn't that bad, but it was. I did a $80,000 project for a hospital there in Chicago. I built an app. You remember that?
I do.
You know some of the players in there. You know, Bill Kay is one. You know who that is, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, probably Krause put me in touch with it. He must have. But I had to contract out some of the work because some of the work was just outside of my realm. It was a pretty cool app, actually, building an app where a nurse could come in and with an iPad and like touch like a picture of an elbow. They'd ask you, what's wrong with your elbow? How does it feel? And they would touch the elbow on the iPad, and then it would give like a list of symptoms to run them through, and then it would kind of do like a quick diagnosis, like in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool app, actually. But it ran away from me quick. It ran away from my technical expertise very fast. So I hired this Indian company led by a guy that I had worked with forever. I mean, I had worked with him for a long time. I still work with him from time to time, so there's no bad blood or anything. But this, you know, we contracted a price of $40,000 for the project. And boy, did that run away from me quickly. And it was the same old thing. Well, we thought it would be 100 hours, and it was 212.
Yeah.
I was like, well, no, who fucking told me? You know, I was like, you contracted for 100. No. We contracted for at least 100. It's like, no, you didn't contract for at least 100. Here's the fucking paperwork.
Yeah.
Well, this is what we meant.
Right.
And it did. It ran, dude, $80,000 project. My clearing after I paid all the bills, $700.
Right.
On 80,000. Oh, talk about my fucking. It was the only time in the history of me working that I ever had heart pain. I thought I was going to have a heart attack and die from the stress of that job, because I literally sat around thinking, I'm going to lose on this. If this thing, you know, at that point I didn't have any kind of coin either, and I was like, if this thing goes $20,000 over, I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, I'm dead, and I'm going to get sued and lose my fucking house and everything else. But then it literally smoothed out to where I made a whopping $700. Talk about deflating.
Yeah.
6-month project, fucking investing thousands of hours into it for about a penny an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, I was fucking devastated.
That is more than the Indian children make in our sweatshops.
You could have made 40 million iPhones for that price.
Well, I told you about the per diem, right?
Yeah.
They had a $37 a day per diem.
Sounds about fair.
$37 a day.
You can't even rent a room for that.
I know. Well, the per diem was just for the food.
Oh, even that. I mean, three meals.
Yeah.
10 and 15.
Well, it was 7, 10, and 20.
All right.
So I didn't eat anything all day.
Right.
And then I went and had dinner, and with dinner, tax, and tip,
yeah,
it was $34.
No. 15 is your problem,
No,
sir.
no, $20 was the limit. It's like, no, but the per diem is $37, so you're actually $3 ahead for that day. No, dinner is only $20 and you spent $34.
Wendell, just because you saved up your breakfast doesn't mean you get the money.
Exactly. Just because you starved for all day and ate dinner for $34 with tax and tip and saved us $3, you're still over your limit.
Next time, might I suggest the steak and egg bagel at McDonald's? It is a lovely meal. Yeah, $6.95.
Yeah, but that's their whole attitude, though. It's just like, dude, you're $3 ahead for my full daily per diem, but because I spent more on one single meal, that was over the limit.
That is correct. We are looking to save our own money.
Exactly.
Dude, what kind of dinner are you getting for 20 fucking bucks?
I don't know.
I mean, realistically, can you even get like Applebee's, which is,
well, my dinner, I went to Chili's. I remember that specifically. Yeah. I went to Chili's.
Which is not much better than Applebee's.
Exactly. It's comparable.
Yeah.
And between dinner, tax, and tip was $34.
Yeah, because if to get a meal, a dinner for that money, you basically have to go $14 to $15 and leave a tip.
Exactly.
To stay at that. What are you going to get for $14? A fucking bowl of pasta at the Olive Garden?
Maybe.
See that, Wendell? All you can eat. Olive Garden. What do they call that? The tour of Italy.
Yeah.
The tour of Italy. $12.99.
Well, they want you to roll through Fazoli's and, get that.
I hear that Arby's has a very good meal, Wendell. No tip. No tip required.
Right. Yeah. It's drive-through. No tip.
No tip. Ask for the jalapeno bites. They are wonderful.
Right.
Damn, you were in just the most... Dude, that place... You want to talk about the place to fucking do the reality show? You might want to go and just get a job there, but tell them that you have to have this camera crew follow you.
Right.
That's a fucking reality show.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, just from my personal experience, I will never do business with Indians ever again.
I like that in your current job, if they call, you fucking pass it to to your coworker.
Absolutely.
I'm sure she's thrilled by that too.
If I see the name Patel or Yes Now or something on a lead or something, I don't even bother with it.
Does she know of your experience?
I don't know that I've told her.
Does she look at those leads and go, Jesus fucking Christ?
Well,
dude.
no, but I know when she gets done on the phone, when dealing with them, it's just like, this guy wants a new container for the price of a used one.
Yeah. He wants brand new for $12.
Basically, yeah.
I could buy all that steel for $130. Why can't you give it to me shaped like a box?
I get it from China. China.
The Chinese have much better deal than you. All right, then fucking buy it there. You cheap dot-head son of a bitch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just my experience.
Well, I've never really had like I said, I've never had the horrible experience. The only one was that one where I spent all my money paying their developers to do the work. But I couldn't have. I don't know how you lasted as long as you did there. Yeah. You were there a long fucking time.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
But you hated it from like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I did. But the thing is that I was constantly on the look for something else. Yeah. But at that time, because of the economy and everything else, there just wasn't anything in the area that was available.
I know, dude. I know it's not fun. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then, but it used to crack me. For everybody that loves Indian Tales, the segment that we do of Indian Tales, this is really kind of like a rerun of Indian Tales for me. because I got to live these Indian tales live.
Yeah.
And they were much more vicious when you were in it. I almost wish that we would have been doing Indian tales when you were in it. Because now you look at it as I know you still look at it like, I hope these people fucking die in a pit of fire.
Right.
But you're not angry.
No.
You're not angry. Man, when you would call me some of those mornings, and you never present this way on the show, but man, you would call up and you would be like, these motherfucking, you were so fucking mad. And just hating the fact that you were going in. You're like, yeah, I'm on my way to that fucking place again.
Yeah.
And I won't be speaking because it's fucking Monday.
Yeah. Muted Monday.
You were so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
You would tell me these stories and I was like, come on, dude, really?
Yeah. Indians are just miserable people.
Apparently so.
Just the culture. I mean, we're so much better because of diversity in this country.
Yeah, well, yeah. Apparently,
because diversity is our strength.
That's what they keep telling us.
Yeah. That's one of those. That's one of those where my pat answer would be the Chris Aikinism. Go eat a bag of dicks.
I don't ever want to ever work with these people again.
Yeah.
Ever. Dude, if all right, let's just see how deep the hatred goes. If you were to get an email,
yeah,
anybody, any Indian guy that you worked with there, any one of them,
yeah,
I want you to consider all of them. Would you respond to it? Even if it not something saying, "Hey, come back to work," or "Hey, we're having this problem."
Even just a social email.
Just a social email.
No, I absolutely would not respond.
To any person that you worked with.
Nope. Not a one.
Okay. Let's say that somebody there was going through a major, unbelievable health crisis. And the only way they could get through the health crisis would be for you to give them one vial of blood. Would you do it?
No.
Even if they would die if you didn't do it?
It's not my problem.
Would you send a card saying, please hurry up?
No, absolutely not. I would have zero contact.
Would you check the paper to see if they finally died?
Maybe I would.
And would you celebrate that?
I would make a cake and call it a day of rejoicement, and instead of eating it, I would smash it.
God damn, man. Holy shit. I'm feeling the love.
I'm typically a pretty tolerant person, but when it comes to the Indian culture, that type of Indian culture, I'm not saying all Indians, I'm just talking about that culture.
Yeah.
I got zero respect for that.
Okay.
Zero.
What if there was a guy that grew up in that culture, but was like this big Dokken fan too? Would you give him the blood?
I wouldn't do business with him, but if he
blood, keep him alive.
No,
you just fuck him.
Yeah.
Heaven sent, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Out.
That's your fate. Why don't you kiss all arms of Ganesha?
Yeah. You need my blood? Well, that's the kiss of death, motherfucker.
Yeah. White boy here with his white privilege and white male privilege, not giving it to brown man. Sorry.
So there's no situation where you would give an Indian guy one vial of blood to keep him alive.
If I knew the Indian guy and he wasn't a typical Indian with a typical Indian culture, that I knew he was like a scam artist or cheap or anything, I would consider it. But if he was one of the cheap ones and the ones that had no sense about him and I had no respect for him, no.
So basically, he could be Indian. He could be born Indian.
Yeah.
But he needed to be immediately adopted by a rich white family and raised as a rich white kid. Then you'd be okay with him?
Well, as long as he didn't have that attitude.
Well, he'd have the rich white family attitude.
Yeah, well, if he was like a normal person, yeah, I'd probably embrace that.
Like a normal person.
A normal person, not a degenerate fuck. Not some kind of third world person who would throw a rotting dead corpse into their drinking water or take a shit on the street.
I love your venom for these
well,
folks.
Here's the thing. I was watching something today about the whole Indian culture.
Yeah.
These people have no respect for their own homes, let alone anybody else. And then they come over here and they expect everyone to live by their ways. Mm-hmm. But I was listening to a guy today. He was more or less just kind of pontificating on that whole Indian culture thing. And It's just like, it's nothing. And he was making a comparison to like Seattle, Washington or San Francisco, where the homelessness is out of control.
Sure.
And people are just shitting on the streets. Mm-hmm. Over in India, that's just really commonplace. He said it's nothing for a guy to get off, say, like a public transit.
Right.
And just go over and pull his pants down and take a shit in the corner of a building or something. It's just like, what kind of a culture is that? When is that ever okay?
Right.
It's just like, oh, you know what? I got to take a dump. I'm just going to go over here into the corner of this building and take a shit on the street.
Yeah, I need to leave it here.
Yeah.
Well, and again, it's probably because I don't understand the reasoning. Is there just no? Is it a situation of bad hygiene and etiquette, or is it a situation of the environment they live in is so fucked up that there is just no no facilities to run into a restroom and take a shit?
Well, that, but the thing is, and I think the point here is that as a developing country, they don't take they don't go through the process of upgrading the way that they live.
Right.
They have these old archaic ways of thinking and these superstitious beliefs and all these, I'm not anti-religion. I'm for people. If people have a spiritual side to them, that's all well and fine.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But the thing is if you let your spiritual or religious ideology override good common sense, that's when I have a problem with it. They have the river Ganges over there, which is their main river that provides irrigation, it provides drinking water, it provides all kinds of stuff. And because of their belief and their ideology and the way that they think, they're throwing the ashes of their dead in there because they think it has some kind of magical spiritual power, and they're throwing their dead bodies in there, and they're taking shit in there, and it's just like, dude, this is your lifeblood. This is your river. This is the river that brings you your water for irrigation and drinking and all this other stuff, and you're polluting it with feces and dead bodies and crematory ashes and all that kind of shit because you think it has some spiritual or miracle whatever it is.
Right.
It's like, get out of year 11 already.
Year 11.
You're supposedly a developing country. Modernize yourself. Get out of that mindset.
Right. It's too funny.
So again, if it's an Indian guy, it's not because he's Indian. It's because of the way his behavior.
Right.
And I get it that a lot of them are brought up in those homes and things that's how they believe and stuff. But if you're coming over to this country and you want to live here and you want to assimilate and be part of this culture, you got to leave that shit behind.
Yeah, but you're making a grand assumption that's just not true. They don't want to assimilate.
Well, that's true, but part of coming over here, part of your responsibility of coming here and living and prospering is you need to assimilate.
Well, again, that's an old-fashioned assumption.
I guess so. I guess Teddy Roosevelt had it wrong.
In today's world, it's we that were born here have to assimilate to their culture.
Right.
That's how it's presented these days. You have to accept Muslim this and Shia that and Sharia this and Indian that, and you have to pretend that it's all, all good.
Yeah. Well, again, if that's how you want to conduct yourself over here, that doesn't mean I have to do business with you.
Right. Well, I agree.
And if I know that you conduct yourself that way and you don't want to assimilate and you don't want to act like an American if you're doing business over here, and I know that, I'm not obligated to do business with you.
Well, dude, being around these folks, why do you think it is that they don't want that? Why do I don't? And again, I guess I come from a place of ignorance on this, but how could you look at what we consider, me and you consider normal? And by normal, I'm talking about basic shit. If you have to take a shit, you stop at a gas station and go into the fucking restroom and take a shit.
Right.
I would say that's a normal behavior. Why do you think that they look at that as abnormal and think that it makes more sense to just to squat on fucking High Street in San Francisco and take a dump?
Well, why are our own citizens doing that? We have this big homeless situation going on, especially on the West Coast.
Yeah.
In L.A. If I was out in L.A. for NAMM back in January. And in Anaheim, which is not far from where the Angels play.
Right.
And Disneyland is, and Knott's Berry Farm, and it's a very kind of an affluent area.
Okay.
Just one block east of where the Angels play from Angel Stadium.
Okay.
There's like a major homeless encampment there.
Right.
And the trash and the squalor and the filth and the nastiness, it's like, this is America, but it's like a third world country over there.
But why do you think it is?
Well, because of the laws of this tolerance in California, and San Francisco is suffering the same fate as well as Seattle.
But who are they tolerating? The homeless?
Well, they're not ruling. They're not going by the rule of law, or they're not enforcing the rule of law. They're letting basically people just do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Right. And people with nothing have nothing to lose, so they don't give a shit.
Yeah. So if you go to San Francisco, there's syringes and needles and shit in the streets. Same thing with Seattle and parts of Los Angeles and this and that, because it's this whole welfare state.
Right.
There's no reason for that. It wasn't like that 20 years ago or 15 years ago.
Right. Yeah, it's just strange. To me, it's strange. I'm so glad that I live in, not that.
Yeah.
Not that it would never get to here, but, I mean, Cleveland's not that far away, and Cleveland can be fucked up in some places, too. So.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Cleveland's considered, I think I saw Cleveland's like the third most dangerous city in the country.
Yeah, it is.
It's right there in the same category as your nice, fine home of Chicago and St. Louis.
St. Louis, Chicago, Gary, Detroit. Indiana, Detroit, Cleveland.
Yeah. Kind of makes me feel a little bit like a badass, though, that I've fucking sustained in Cleveland. Never been killed.
Yeah.
Walked those streets before, never been killed.
Right.
Although it is it's. Do you find that as you get older, you just that you have like built in a little bit of fear now?
Well, it's not fear; it's just common sense. Like I know that chances are, if I were to go downtown Chicago,
right,
chances of me being involved with an altercation or being in the middle of gunfire, not so much. Do I want to chance it? No. So if the invite is there, or if the opportunity is there for me to go see a concert or go downtown for dinner or whatever, I'll have to mull that over.
Right.
Do I really want to do that? Is that really worth it to me? And it's not because I'm afraid. It's just like, you know what? Not really interested in taking that chance.
Yeah, dude, I think that all the time now. A lot of things I just won't go to because I just don't have, I'll give you an example of one. Remember when the Cavs a couple years ago won the championship?
Yeah.
And they had the big parade?
Right.
Well, I obviously work for myself. If I wanted to go, I could have gone. It's not like I had to get permission from a boss or anything. I could have just gone. And the reason I didn't go, I was in Pittsburgh that day, but I could have come back. It's basically a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And as a sports guy, it was a huge deal for me. But at the same time, I was like, fuck that. There's no way am I going to be fucking in lawless haven. There's not enough cops to deal with 5 million people in the fucking street. There's no fucking way am I going to go down there. And I didn't. And by contrast, John and Stephanie went down there, and they're equally crazy about sports like I am, and they left by like 8:00 in the morning because the gangs and shit were down there and starting fights and looking to start trouble, and shootings were going on and shit that weren't getting really reported. It turned into a whole thing, so they got the fuck out of there to be safe. It's like, fuck this. Why put yourself in that situation these days?
Yeah.
If the dummies want to kill themselves, go ahead, kill themselves. But why am I going to be down in there?
Well, I'll give you an honest example. Our good friend Sal in the chat room.
Yeah.
He hit me up on the email at Christmas time. It's just like, dude, me and my dad were having dinner downtown Christmas Day. Right. And I'm here. I wasn't spending Christmas with anybody. And he goes, dude, come on down. Let's have dinner together.
Okay.
I literally had to sit there, and not because of Sal, but just because of where and when and all this, whether I was going to go or not. And it wasn't because I was afraid. It was just like, what kind of shit do I'm going to have to endure to go down there?
Right.
So I had to sit there and do this whole risk assessment thing in my head, where it was just like, okay, it's Christmas. Who's going to be out on Christmas Day? What's going to happen? It's not, the weather isn't really bad.
Right.
What do I got to lose? I want to meet Sal. because I missed him at the Melodic Rock concert.
Right.
Sure. and it was very kind of him and his dad to invite me down for my birthday and for Christmas. And,
right.
So I had to go through this whole assessment thing in my head.
Right. To have a dinner.
To go have a dinner.
Right.
And maybe that's irrational thinking. I don't know. But I made the decision to go, and I had a good time, and I'm glad I went.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think in today's world, especially in Chicago, that's that irrational. There's fucking 20 people a weekend that get shot.
Exactly. So I went and met up with Sal and his dad and had a nice dinner and, enjoyed their company and hung out. It was good, But to get to that point, I had to sit there and go. I felt like Ben Stiller in the movie Along Came Polly as a risk assessor. I had to sit there and put it in my risk assessment machine and, put in all the variables and the calculations.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that movie or not.
I have, yeah.
But then it goes, okay, 65% chance you're going to have a good time. Okay, well, it's above 50, so I guess I'm good to go.
So you'll try it. Exactly.
Exactly.
Dude, that's why I'm always surprised that you say that you're going to go to one of these Trump rallies. That seems like that would be risk negative for you.
Yeah, it would, but I'm because I just am enamored with the way that his speeches go.
Right.
It's just like, this guy is an anomaly.
Right.
And this is a once in a lifetime deal. So, when Trump is out of the office in 6 years, we're never going to see anything like that ever again.
Yeah, probably not. I'd imagine not, because we ain't going to live long enough to see another goof get in there.
Exactly. So that for me is the risk due to the once in a lifetime situation is worth it to me,
I hear you. I'm not saying you're wrong either way. I'm just saying that knowing you, that seems risk negative to you.
Yeah, and you're right. You're absolutely right about that. But, I enjoy Trump. I think he's funny. I like his rallies. I like the way he speaks, and I would like to see it for myself.
Right.
If it's just once.
Right. I don't know. I think I just can't fathom you there. I really can't. I really can't. Just because I know how you think.
Yeah.
And let's say he was coming in 2 weeks.
Right.
I know that between now and 2 weeks, you will have looked it up to see if it's going to be on CSNBC or whatever, C-SPAN or whatever.
Right.
You're going to know if it's going to be broadcast, and you're going to go through that assessment.
Yeah, of course.
Do I be there in person versus I can watch it right here, and I'm guaranteed not to fucking have to waste $50 to park and fucking another $100 to get a meal with whoever I'm meeting down there, and then the risk of being there. I know you.
Yeah,
that all will go through your head.
You're absolutely right. I would weigh all of the options in the assessment. I would definitely do that.
You would never. You are just not that guy that's like, oh, all right, I'm going to go do this now.
Yeah, I'm not an impulsive person. There's nothing impulsive about me.
Like I said to you yesterday or about Thursday, how I just was, because I had slept, I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to Pennsylvania right now. And I just got up and left. Not even a thought. Was just like, all right, change of plan, I'm coming now. In the car and gone.
And look what happened to you.
Yeah, I know. I guess I should have assessed it better. Maybe my car wouldn't be
exactly. Exactly.
Just stuck to the plan.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'm very calculated. I really am very calculated.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Just how I live. I just weigh all the options and make a decision based on what I believe is the best the best option for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. It's just funny that you're so calculated. You are by far the most calculated person I know.
Yeah,
by a lot. I mean, I honestly, I've known you 20 years?
Pretty close. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's been 20 years. It's been 21 years.
So in 21 years, I seriously can think of one time that I know of that I was like, damn, that was pretty impulsive. There was one, and it may not even have been. It might just be that I didn't know the plan.
Okay.
But there was one time, I don't know, it was 6 or 7 years ago now, where you like texted me and said you were in Akron.
Right.
You were visiting Chantel or somebody. I don't remember who you were visiting.
Sure. But
you were visiting somebody in town, and I was stunned that I just didn't know that you were in town at all.
Right.
Because normally, I would hear the plan.
Yeah.
Now, normally I'd hear, well, I'm going to go and, I mean, even when you just blow in for a visit, it's like, okay, well, Friday night I'm going to spend with Officer Jim and my sister.
Yeah,
and
exactly. And there's a lot of trip. Yeah, because I don't want to waste my time and waste a trip.
Exactly. But I mean, you're so thought out like that. There was just that one time, and I think it was like you came in for like somebody's birthday or something. I don't remember what it was. But it was very out of character for you to be in town without like weeks of prep.
Right, exactly.
And that's in 20 years.
Yeah.
Every other thing has been very calculated, very, you're the guy that, when you would bring the equipment to do shows, it was a process.
Yeah.
It was not just wheel this shit in. It was, all right, I'm going to take this out first so that it sits here because we're going to be unloading and everything's going to be laid out right to left. So you take this out first because it's going to be on the furthest right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're that guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I would have made a great stage manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. All monitors, stage left. Okay. Drum riser in the middle. Okay. Monitors, stage right.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been able to deal with the stupidity that comes with that job.
Yeah, but my point is that's how it works, though. You know.
Yeah. You would have had to be stage managing like Metallica or somebody huge.
Yeah.
Where it's a corporate entity. You couldn't do a fucking local, somebody playing the ha-ha shop.
Well, the thing is I did do that back in the 80s when I worked at the club. We did have shows, and we basically had to bring in the back line and everything for that, and I kind of ran that whole show.
Well, dude, every place that I've ever seen you work, you end up running.
Yeah.
Except for the cab place.
Yeah, got to step up and kind of take charge.
Even the place that you're at now, you sort of wear more than... You're not just wearing the sales hat that you're supposed to be wearing. You're wearing fucking 15 hats.
Yeah.
That's who you are, man. Because you're organized.
Yeah, because I gotta have the environment. I gotta have a certain environment right in order to thrive.
Yep. It's just you are an interesting person.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at the studio. I mean, this studio is. When I come up here and sit in this chair and, get the show going and everything, it 9 times out of 10 or even 9.9 times out of 10, it goes without a hitch.
Right.
Because goes into planning and making sure everything works and the computers are running and the equipment is running and, everything goes.
Right. Yeah. No. And for people that do not remember the old days or probably were not privy to it, even if they were fans in the old days, pre-show to the CMS was a very different animal.
Oh, yeah. Then. Because we were working with very new technology.
Y'all want to know why I was so much angrier on the show? Yeah. Part of that was that I had a wife that I fucking didn't want to be married to and didn't want me to be married to her. The other part of it was the 2 hours of technical horseshit that Neeley and I would do going into the show. Yeah,
because the voice over IP technology was not developed, and we were actually working with it to make it work for us.
Yeah, but I mean, it was hours of talk again. Okay, talk again.
Because we were getting echo, and we were getting dropout, and we were getting all kinds of problems, and I was trying to adjust the equipment to compensate for those problems.
It was and I was drinking a lot during those shows. And I was like just drinking. I'm getting drunk. And meanwhile, you're going, take it up half a click.
Yeah.
Take it half a click. Take it back up a quarter click. Now take it back.
Yeah.
Now let me try one more time. And I was like, just fucking pick. But in fairness, as much as it drove me nuts, we would get to doing the show, and 99% of the time it sounded right.
Yeah,
even though the technology was way archaic.
Yeah, it was very archaic.
Dude, I mean, even before Skype, you remember that software that we bought?
Gizmo.
Gizmo, but even before that, the first one that we used, it was like called IntelliPhone or something.
Yeah.
Shit. It was garbage.
Yeah, but the voice over IP was fairly non-existent, and we were trying to make it work 400 miles apart.
Yeah, and we did.
And we made it work.
It wasn't always great, but, it's funny. I listen back to the old episodes sometimes. Like, I'll just turn on the CMS radio network, and I can tell immediately within 1 second when it was recorded.
Of course.
Even if I don't remember it, I can hear my voice and your voice, and not our voices. I think your voice sounds exactly the same as when you started the CMS.
Right.
I think my voice sounds completely different.
Yeah, because now, but I didn't have the processors then, and I didn't have it all worked where it was all equal, and you sounded like you were here in the studio, and.
But it's the technology though is so different.
Oh,
now.
It is.
All the gear and just the ability to. I mean, let's face it. Let's from the early days when we were using IntelliPhone to now we're literally doing video to video in real time that looks absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
now.
and there's no latency and there's no delays, nothing.
Nothing. It looks like professional video. You know, I mean, us two don't look like professionals, but the video itself looks pretty fucking pro.
Right.
And it's such an amazing concept, and it's so easy now. You know, there's when's the last time we did an audio test that we weren't at a gig? God, it's been years,
yeah,
right?
it probably was when you first came back to the show was probably the last time we ever did anything like that.
And that was more because I had to, like, buy microphones and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I first came back to the show, it was literally me on a headset mic. I was doing it Rev style. You know, and then I had to get gear again because I didn't have any gear.
Yeah, you basically got rid of everything.
Well, I don't want to say I did, but it was gotten rid of.
It was gotten rid of, yeah. So you basically were starting from scratch.
Exactly. All I had was a fucking over-the-head headset.
Yeah.
In that first week, 2 weeks after the divorce started hitting, when I came crying back to the show talking about crying at Ted Nugent. Which I don't know. Dude, you got to admit, that's a funny fucking
It
segment.
is. It's very funny.
It's pathetic as hell, but it is funny. Showed that me and you still had good chemistry.
Yeah. REO Speedwagon, Sticks, and Ted Nugent.
And me with the fake crying. Good stuff, man.
Can you believe that was 7 years ago?
7 glorious years.
7 years.
I know, it's great. I know.
You've been back as long as I was on WSTB.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I've been free of fucking emotional pain for 6 years. 6 years with none of that.
Right.
Oh, that seems crazy to me. That 1 year of divorce seems like it went on longer than these 6 years since I got over it.
Yeah.
You know, now it just feels great. Now it's like, thank God.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and I roll over and there's nobody there and I'm like, whew. What a break that is. Too good.
It is. It's funny.
Dude, we rambled for an hour about nothing.
I know, but people want to know about our exciting lives.
But there's nothing exciting.
But you know what? It's a whole different world than most people live.
I guess. What did we even talk about in this hour?
We just talked about Indians and we talked about bullshit and talked about safety and guns and, philosophy and how we live. And
yeah, what do we call this? Bullshit?
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.